The dama no need to. A crime be peja yesikasem. Because the a weak economy, no, it mean boy mubia. Ye pejuma, ama ye mebro. Ye pese, ye quia, ye idimu. Me quia fonson no, enya hoto, if ye juma one ye. Ye pequania, 1 year share yare sabia home. Some and so timidina ya naso ya disua some so it should be born by. These are the desires that we all have as citizens of the country. In Sanya may and a mention ye pequia the besha Ghana sika seman kasano ni sika ya wono so ya sheda born by. Ya shishaye bebre wo. One of the most important legislations which me say me din shase procurement law. The public procurement law. I did buy a man say I buy a barbetua dear. I buy a barbe share and then uncrankra for barbe share, say a barbetua bibi and I a barbe ye juma titrubia. Yen fa a kwan so a ebetumi ahwe ma aban sika no etumi aye adwuma papa ma man. So competitive tendering of projects Ira Mahama numbreso as a competitive tendering no crowd ya tonche, and every single important infrastructural development that we have is the result of sole sourcing. Sole sourcing is also no value for money a woman in the same. You can never measure it because you don't have a competitive basis for measuring it. You don't know day bano and wa bonisika no wa buying wasum na no azieko. Say you value for money. Say juma e ba be ya no anke bitimi aye ne sa with less money. E bitimi aye the account the oba be ya na anke ye bi so aka ho eno nyina no it gets lost. There's an alternative way of administering our country. Ebema Ghana for enya faso sinje yenya say. Na it say na tembia so no. Ye pekwanya nini titru ye be peja ye sikasa. Because it's the strong economy that creates jobs. It's a strong economy that creates prosperity. It's a quite between afa amasa strong economy na abano, and no need to asama make a so all of these policies make us utu kwine na only Ghana for share near me be by down kumaso. Another one is sanitation. Other is water everywhere obeko. Said 60 years after independence. Sebi. Yeah. Now still, a room. Now you I mean, it's not correct. We don't have a proper sanitary system in our country. Toilets in homes. We've been in a situation 60 years after independence that still the majority of homes in Ghana don't have their own toilets. She said it's because of the development paradigm that the country has been through. Everything is so centralized in Accra. And Manobanda says Accra, one year she said near Manu ye mistake. There's no way of correcting it on the ground. And unti any day she said for air but to say for instance, this redirection of the capital budget. Which Miabani said every constituency will get directly a certain amount of money, the equivalent of $1 million. Ghana budget that's Tepe read, I believe in November, is that the capital budget. It's a budget is basically in two parts. You have the current or recurrent expenditure, then you have the capital expenditure. The provision that has been made for capital expenditure next year is $1.6 billion. That's the provision, the budgetary provision for capital expenditure next year is $1.6 billion. And yeah, says $1.6 billion. No. Yebabi yimu $275 million for next year. Redirect the capital budget. The existing, the existing capital budget. Redirect it so that we can take $275 million out. And $1 million per constituency. So that's the origin of it. Now, this is what we're saying. The budgetary allocation that has been made for capital expenditure next year is $1.6 billion. We, when we come, are going to restructure that budget so that we can take out of it $275 million and divide it per constituency. Another Mekai, for instance, the guidelines that are going to be put are addressing issues of sanitation, issues of water, basic infrastructure for human development, sanitation, water, in some places which are built up, roads, in some cases it's power, of course the perennial issue of schools, how some of this money can support health facilities in the localities, and there will be guidelines that are going to be established from the center as to how these, so that there will be accountability. Saying it is one thing, doing it is another. Saying that, oh yeah, we have to see it on the ground. Another time, baby, I make on Crawford, too many make baby, I make without exception. Everywhere I go, Crawford be the machine. Nana and Trino, friends, Santuano, Madon, one of them know Nabganda for Nina. Baby, one, Nana cried, I'm so no joy. Me, Ebisao, baby, I beko. What are the demands of the people? And then I made it is my litmus test. Because Uncle Sabbath baby because oh don't worry, yeah, our roads have been fixed. Don't worry, our sanitation has been fixed. And then I feel about because it's time and place after place without exception. These are the very matters. It's okay. No problem. I don't have a problem. But I'm saying that the overwhelming majority of places are Bekono. This is the story that they're putting out. This is it. I can give you the notes. Town after town. Across Ghana. This is the language of the traditional authorities, of the people themselves who are there. Now, that is it. But that should be the basis of government. That has to be the basis of government. What it is are the needs of the people. Now, how Uber addresses the needs of people. That has to be what democratic governance is about. You know, baby, they have to let you indicate to you what their preferences are, what the things that they want to have done.
$275 million.
And subsequently every year. The capital budget is $1.6 billion. The capital budget is $1.6 billion. What you're taking out of it is not even 10%. It's not. Billion.
One district, one factory. If you say a campaign, and yet feasible, and yet possible, and yet the original can say district year 14, make a factory. And no, and then I do
There are two things. First of all, recognition about the potential of our country. It's a Bebia Ghana. Bibi Wahwa. Raw material, produce wɔ hɔ a yɛde adwene ba ho yɛ yɛbɛtumi de ayɛ biribi. Already, I mean, over 300 projects has been identified within the team. Over 300 projects have been identified over the 216 districts of Ghana. Over 300 projects of various types, processing, establishment of facilities. We're going to carry out the policy. We have the basis for doing so. The marketing arrangements that will enable these institutions to take off and have been fully documented. People keep forgetting. Towards the end of Kufuor's period, Chairman of the Ministry of Trade organized something they call the District Industrialization Program. And the present thinking and policies is coming out of that initial work that was done. So it's not say, oh, baby, you don't know what you're talking about. On the contrary, a lot of thinking and work has already been gone into it. And we know that every part of this country, bibi wohwa, yesheda ede yadwen baho, say, epesi yedi mpuntu baho, ebetumi aye. And no hasam any eka.
300 projects or 300 unique areas. How many
Agro-business. Some are small-scale industrial activity. These are the two main areas: agro-business and small-scale industrial activity. You're talking processing. Yeah, babe. Yeah, banya babe. Because the attitude you to me, you know. The member who the one you know is here kind of say, Ochnebi, when your baby jina, what I never done. Oh, say I didn't cry, bitch me. I Ihusa, Mahama, I did at the part when me, maybe a friend said Northern Development Authority, idea you buy. Oh, leave your always go to your VR for that. Ochania TSS or the BBI friend of Sada Eba, which was meant to be the duplication of the idea. Senior high school, I say me. So I don't know what I'm talking about. I've got the thing upside down. This was something that we were had said on Nusubabe 200 community day schools. And apart from the commitment, we haven't seen anything done. Especially the last month, the year commission schools. In the last 4 years, no work has been done, and yet suddenly, as the election is coming, we have a rush of commissionings. Never. I'm very certain if you mistake me, if he was there, just one district, one factory, it's going to be their flagship policy. I have no doubt about it at all.
He's a threat to the future of Ghana.
Yeah, because I say so. I don't. It's Namamu. The governance of our country under him, in my view, has been a disaster. All the indices of our country, has gone backwards. Economic growth, employment in our country, all the indices have gone backward. Now, if the year koyechi, every year, Isikasam becomes more compromised. Now still, be mano a quine atwaswa. And ye dachi no babeseno. Ye dachi no babeseno. And none tina make us say pass ye pesi a boy a dachi home baya. Ye your penino. A free your man penye kunyanos. Because of Tiho, not the yehum, I want a memu a yano. sɛ saa ne ɛba bɛhu bio mu a nyɛ sɛ ɛmmoa yɛn na ɛba bɛsɛ yɛ daakye. ɛno nti na meka sɛ he is a threat to the future of our country. Style of governance, substance of governance no yɛma no toa so a Ghana daakye no ɛnyɛ daakye papa. nti sɛ meka a deɛ mepɛ sɛ meka no sɛ wohwɛ ɛkwan a ɔde ɔman no afa these last 5 years ɔbaeɛ for the first time in our country yɛnya revenue from oil, apart from say normal sources of revenue a yɛwɔ no. Now hwɛ baabi a ɔman no do say bra Ghana for ɛɛbrɛ me de minim no crefo bi a ɔwɔ ɔman mu a ɔbɛtumi de ne nsa asi ne bo aka sɛ ɛkɔ yie wɔ Ghana say time a yɛka sɛ ɛnkɔ yie wɔ ha no ɔman a ɛwɔ yɛne wɔn bɔ hyeɛ Côte d'Ivoire no ne saa ne ma etu mpɔn dendenden ɛno ntumi ka sɛ biribi aba ɛyɛ Africa na West Africa ɛna yɛ obiara ehu amane wɔ because ɛnyɛ no korɛ next door to us mamu a aba wɔ hɔ no ne wɔ sikasɛm ahoɔden aba mu no nti no French Africa kofo di America ɛkɔ Côte d'Ivoire si ɛkɔ akɔpɛ adwuma ayɛ wɔ na yɛn deɛ no Ghana fo nyinaa ho kyerɛ wɔ Ghana fo ehu amane na onipa ɔno ɔfa ɔman no at a certain level ne namamu nti no ɔman no aba bɛdu baabi a ɛwɔ sɛ masa nipa toa so a ɛnyɛ mmerɛ mu ne yɛkɔ ɛnyɛ dis mu ne yɛkɔ yi ɛno nti na mesrɛ Ghana foɔ sɛ yɛbɛtumi ayɛ nhyehyɛ foforɔ a ɔhaw ne bra yɛbrɛ bɛtumi ayi afiri yɛ so. ɛno nti na mesrɛ Ghana foɔ sɛ wokua dɛ yɛba abɛto abɛi mesrɛ wɔn fa wɔn anim bɛto ɔsoro no so wɔn fa wɔn ani ɛmba bɛto ɔsoro no so yɛmboa ɔsoro no no kɔ Red Jubilee House because ɔsoro no nhyehyɛeɛ yɛwɔ ma ɔman no ɛba bɛyɛ nhyehyɛeɛ foforɔ a saa ɔhaw ɛwɔ ɔman yi so no ahokyerɛ mu a yɛwɔ yi yɛdwadie a ɛnkɔ yie adwuma a ɛnni hɔ yɛka ne asɛm aba bɛyɛ nsɛm foforɔ wɔ 5 solid years of electricity difficulties that we've had sorry saa nneɛma nyinaa no yɛwɔ nhyehyɛeɛ a ɛba bɛbɔ ho ban na ɛma sika ne adwuma titiri aba ɔman mu ha na Ghana foɔ nso ɛyɛ dɛ ɛnya yɛn ho yɛn pagya ɔman yi ɛdi tɛm biara mekɔ baabi a meka no bio ma nsa na mede mekasa abɛwie yɛayɛ mmɔbɔ wɔ Ghana yɛte sika so ɔman nya ohia man na nam amamu a ɛnkɔ yie nti no ɛkɔm de yɛn nanso so no ɛwɔ titiriw ɛkwan a yɛti ɛma mmara yɛ adwuma wɔ ha obi te patapaa na ekunkum kye sɛ paa sɛ minister wonua tumi sɔre wɔ radio so kasa wɔwɔ deɛ nipa ku deɛ ɛnyɛ bibi ɛyɛ asɛm a woyɛ ne daa na besi na police fo ntumi bisa ɛfrɛ o anka sɛ na deɛ wokaeɛ no na ase kyerɛ sɛ yɛtumi nya o because wo papa nua ɛyɛ minister panyin dabi ɛnyɛ nom na de asomdwe no bɛba nti kɔ ayɛkɔɛ na mmemme ka ne sɛ paa sɛ yɛn nyinaa bɛte aseɛ sɛ abatoɔ no yɛ adwenkyerɛ na electoral commission aban wiase nyinaa bɛte aseɛ sɛ deɛ hia ne sɛ yɛbɛyɛ nhyehyɛeɛ a ɛbɛma Ghanafoɔ akyerɛ wɔn adwen wɔ asomdwe mu a wobɛhu sɛ ɔkyerɛ bi no ɛhia biom sɛ nyinaa bɛhyia na yɛba bɛyɛ declarations ne saa nneɛma abatoɔ ɛba bɛyɛ biribi normal in our lives every 4 years, every 5 years, whatever is the consensus that may be about the Kahwa Sama. Na yetumi Eddie, can I make a bureau memoir in the higher pesa? It tintim Ghana, it may tintim, and Mancoswire.
And I want to say, running mate, Dr. Bowman, I said, my friend, and I told that one what your campaign is nurses and teacher training allowance, Mobaba, and that's some to Baba and Mobile Sandia. Now, say, you Casa Equa, a by patches, Sashi, and Moma Blesso, and now Mutin Crat, that's a more Pepaya, the big giants allowances. And watching and not many finance was the rest and technically more. No patches say, and some more kind of seven, and I campaign platform. Sikana Casa would be at them. Sabi, a bit new better,
Sir, Ned and then the Kufo president never.
Patches says, is your money to pump to baby?
Yes, she said, Bonnie will not take back for finding an inch as I scan. Yes, and she said, Bonnie was. Friend say, take me home. Because near money be what? Near Ubechimiaka can some kitchen. 6-unit classroom block. GNA Nakayo last year, November, I think it was November last year, GNA. Within 10 days, 2 different announcements. One is say MTN, yeah. Ebois community B could see 6-unit classroom block, fully furnished, 170,000 Ghana cedis. 10 days later, Regional Minister Futiabo Eco commissioned another 6-unit classroom block, 510,000 cedis. 300 and something thousand cedis difference. The same 6-unit classroom block. 6-unit classroom block. The same 6-unit classroom block. 6-unit classroom block. Nothing, not 1 yard more, not 1 yard less. The same. The difference. So if you're consistently doing that, no, yes, then you will say that there's no money. No, yes, she said 170 will be 170 across board. There's 170 is 170 across board, and on each unit of each classroom unit, you'll be a savings of 300,000, over 300,000. Inch me find BB Papa. Yeah, we've said it. We made it the formal manifesto commitment. We've said it, and we keep saying, and we haven't said it now. We've been saying it for the last 3 or 4 years. That to us, because we believe it is an important incident in growing that human capital, that human manpower. It is not just these things are not just electoral gimmicks. I mean, yes, no, there be 1 premium. Me ba uchiya premium ba ko uchiya biom for the National Health Service. Okofre ko ya kase na ne yento ne biom wo. One year case things are if it's the electoral gimmicks now okay count. Yeah, one year review on the kind of commitments and statements they made to the Ghanaian people to get them to where they are today. You remember the 1 premium? Oh, you do. Anyone ever say what happened to that promise? Yes, sir. Nelson Satam, you both the road and then people force say, I don't know what they are they withdrawing some of those comments? They should. You should press them to do that, to apologize for some of those comments. Rather than to go on this constant business, say, yeah, Bobby. Me the minimum is the racial Ghana form. Na the men work campaign. No, Mama Race, she must say, I feel. In Premier Sam may pray, be ya, mammy. Na me to Ghana for so. Se Casa America. You say, I am a percent, be the battle. Atwa sopam Ghana for sumu na wokɔ de na mepa ɛbɛda adi ɛma nkonimdie no aba mafa deɛ memi hu na amamu a yɛdi akyire seesei no ne nyinaa gyina amanfoɔ so gyina mmɛme so mmɛme deɛ maka me deɛ maka deɛ mɛtumi ayɛ maka kwan a mɛpɛ sɛ deɛ ɔmaa no fa na sɛ paa sɛ Ghanafoɔ agye to mu a wɔne ne bɛyɛ deɛ aka no na ne nyinaa no nso so no wobɛhwɛ no sɛ yɛaka champion ɛko no ɛnyɛ yɛyɛ ko wɔ twɛdi ampɔ ɔbɔ adeɛ no ɛwɔ no ano ko ɛha yɛgyina no ano no